All right, everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. It's been a while. This is actually the second one back. The first one back was Terry Barton Gregg. We had recorded hers before COVID happened. It was with Alan Goodwin's, and then it just got released because I got COVID, Mom got COVID, everybody knew got COVID. So, therefore, we were kind of we took a hiatus. So now we're back. So, and next to me is not Adam, so much better looking. It was Jen Nebb. What's up, Jen?
I'm doing great. How are you? Excited to be here.
I'm excited for you to be here. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Adam's out of town. He's a safety coordinator for his company. So if someone falls off a building, he has to go explain to the rest of them why that's not a good thing. So
Safety first.
Safety first. So, and our guest today, Mr. Bill Robards.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
How are you, Bill?
I'm good, buddy. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, that's right. And probably not for a while. I made him wait forever for this because someone kind of robbed the Bullhucker podcast.
Yeah, it's okay.
You rat bastard, whoever you are. There you go. So what we do here at the Bullhucker podcast, before we get started, in case you're new to this, in case you're first checking us out, is we bring a guest on, Mr. Robards this time. And what he does is he tells 3 stories about his life. The kicker is only 2 of these stories are true. Now, Bill, before we get into the stories, let me ask you this. The story that's not true, is it totally made up or is it borrowed?
Totally made up.
Totally made up?
Yeah.
Those are the fun ones. Are you ready for this?
I am ready.
All right. So I don't know her, so this is going to be interesting. I know you a little bit. So.
A little bit. We were the DJ at your wedding.
That's true.
That's how we met you.
Yeah, that's right.
We met you through your wife, Dawn.
That's right.
We met Dawn. Very cool story with Dawn. She was a Perez, I believe, at first. Wait,
Garcia,
okay. I don't know. I'm a horrible friend. But it's a cool story how I met her. She came to one of the comedy shows because she had just beaten breast cancer.
Yes.
She was in remission. That's how we met her. At first, we thought there was a bridal party, which is death to a comedy show, because it was happy and loud. And me and Adam were like, oh, shit, And then it turns out, we said, what are you celebrating? And she said, well, I'm in remission. So we said, that's awesome. And that's how we all became friends. So, then Dawn started following us around. We caught her in the bushes a few times. And that's totally not true. Yeah. I'll get punched for that one later. Bill, also a police officer.
I am. Fort Morgan police officer.
And you're pretty new to the cop shop.
I am. I actually started my law enforcement career late, so
I
went to the academy when I was 47.
That's awesome, though,
yeah.
man.
Literally 90% of everybody there was younger than my daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
was there old man jokes?
Yeah. Actually, what's funny is they would tease me all the time, and they say, hey, Robards, I bet you're so old you drive a Buick. And we had a Buick Verano at the time. I'm like, absolutely, that thing's awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you get the Crown Victoria to roll around town in?
I do have a Crown Vic. Yes, I do. Yeah.
They sell Crown Vics? They quit
Shocking,
making
right?
Is it yours or the cop car?
No, it's the cop.
Okay.
It's issued.
I can't believe they still have Crown Vics.
Me neither.
I think they quit making them, though.
Yeah.
Because in our city council meeting, I think the chief was saying that everything's going to an SUV now. The Crown Vic's not making them.
Which kind of makes sense here in Colorado where it snows.
Well, sure. Plus, all the gear you guys have to carry now with all the new stuff in Colorado happening right now.
That's
you guys have to carry more stuff. And
a lot.
It's. Are you excited for that?
No. We're fortunate that we're away from Denver, so we're a little luckier out here.
Right.
For sure.
So there's not as much crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my mother calling in for just crazy shit.
Yeah.
That dog is back. That's
yeah.
I love you, Mom.
That dog is back.
She's got an arch nemesis.
It barks a little too much.
That's funny.
So before that, you were in the service for a long time.
I was. I did 9 years in the Marines.
That's awesome.
So stationed all over the place, and Don and I, we went to high school together. I was telling Jen the story earlier. We went to high school together. We had one date in high school. I took her to homecoming in 1988, and then graduated. I went to the Marines. She went to college. We lost track of each other for 26 years, 27 years, something like that. And
right.
Reconnected on Facebook, and
that's cool.
Here we are.
I remember seeing the picture of you guys in high school in your dances. It was pimp. It was nice and
so what we did at our reception is we had a huge poster blow up of
your homecoming picture.
Yeah, and we really wanted to try to recreate those outfits, but
I'm assuming there was a lot more hair, bigger hair, extra hair.
She didn't really have big hair. She never really had long hair. No.
Hair?
But surprisingly, other than maybe the Antiques Roadshow, you can't find a sweater vest anymore. They just
maybe it'll show
I was
going to
bring it back, but
dude, you don't look at that picture and think, gosh, is that not from the 80s? It's one of those pictures.
It is probably 80s.
Totally 80s. I used to have, I'm early 90s in high school. The cardigan was huge back then, like the Do you know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
you wear like the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
neck. Yeah.
That's what you used to wear a lot.
Oh
in high
man,
school?
I rocked a cardigan, man.
I wore swatches all the way up my arms and did the short little skinny roll on the bottom of my pants.
That's awesome. You weren't popular unless you did that.
Exactly.
you weren't. The skinny
I wasn't
roll.
popular anyways.
Skinny roll. And then for a couple years after that, it was the baggy jeans, which being a fat guy, I really appreciated.
Uh-huh.
Those were up my alley, man. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Are you talking about the Jean Co. ones?
Yeah,
It looks like
yeah,
homeless
yeah,
people
we're-
can live up underneath there
You
with
know
you.
what? But it was nice because nothing was ever tight. Now everything's skinny jeans for me. Everything, you know. So
I prefer the bigger jeans as well on men.
how many swatches we talking?
Oh gosh, I used to probably have 6 or 7
Huh.
on up each arm. I was a swatch freak.
Do they make swatches now?
They do. There's a swatch store in Las Vegas inside the New York casino.
Look at that. Yeah.
I think I'm going to Vegas in December, and I'm going to bring you back a swatch.
I would love a swatch.
You just swatch.
Nice.
I'll be swatching for it.
Oh, that was good. That was real good.
Where was your favorite place to be stationed, Bill? What was your most exciting? Most interesting, I'll say. Not exciting, interesting.
Probably Thailand.
Thailand.
So we trained with the Royal Thai Marines, and so it wasn't just hanging out in Bangkok and, lady shows and all that, stuff like you see on The Hangover.
Right.
But it was, we were all over country, and it was pretty fascinating.
Beautiful down there.
It is. Their culture's amazing. And they're a very poor country, but it was really beautiful. I loved it there. Yeah.
How
Spent a
fun.
year in Okinawa. That was pretty awesome, too.
Nice.
So,
That
yeah.
would be cool. Japan would be very cool, man.
Yeah, it was cool. It makes you really appreciate different cultures and how they live compared to
Sure.
where we live, and it grows you up real fast. I went there young.
Really?
I think the first 3 years I was in the Marines, I was in 10 different countries.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
What year did you go in?
91, January of 91.
Wow.
And I got out in 99, August of 99. So
Do you miss it?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never leaves you, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was fun. My son's in the Navy now, so
That's cool.
I tease him all the time. Of course.
Are there horrible jokes like, hey, you know how they keep Marines on ships, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, interesting enough, I was on 7 different Navy ships, which is kind of rare for Marines. So,
Right.
Yeah.
What's the biggest ship?
Well, I was on 2 smaller ships. I was in the infantry and 2 small ships, and then we were in the Bay of Hong Kong pulling in, and here was this aircraft carrier that we kind of steamed right on by, and I thought, wow, that thing is so
They're massive.
cool.
They're massive, right?
Yeah, I was like, man, wouldn't that be so cool to be on one of those? Well, then I changed my job in the Marines, and I became an aircraft mechanic, and I was on 5 different carriers,
That's crazy.
which was cool. And I was actually flown off a carrier twice, which was
Really?
pretty cool. Yeah.
At the DFA dryer plant when I worked there, the HR guy named Mike, and then they had a supervisor named Chris. They were on the same ship for like 2 years and had never met. They had no
Yeah.
clue.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they started talking
that
like I was on
far
that
apart.
ship. What year? And then it was
Yeah.
for like 2 years. They had no idea. That's to me that's crazy. You know,
It is.
I'm always amazed by the guy that has to stop the plane on top of the carrier. They look rather small in that regard.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they are very huge. That's funny. One lives in
Yeah.
the West Wing, one lives in the right. We
I
never
mean,
meet each other.
Absolutely. Well, and especially on an aircraft carrier or a nuclear carrier, depending on your job, there's certain areas that you can be on the ship and certain areas you don't go. So
Oh, sure.
typically if you're a cook or somebody like that, you have no business being on the flight deck, and so they
Gotcha.
just don't know those people. you know?
right? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so I was pretty fortunate. Got to see a lot.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Jen, no service.
No service. I've done community service.
Hey, that's still effort.
How many ships?
Isn't that terrible? Yeah, just a little bit of light community service is all.
That's good. Like,
Yeah.
well, like Judge Forrest, or did you?
Yes.
You just
Yes.
not charity. Okay.
No. It was, court ordered community service.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Well, Bill has brought us 3 stories today. He even wrote them down for us and all that good stuff.
I did.
A Marine, you can tell, very efficient, right?
I didn't even use crayon.
You didn't use
That's
crayon.
actual pen.
Quotes and everything.
Quotes and everything. So, since you're the guest, you're running the gunner seat today. I'm gonna let you pick the first story, Jen.
Oh, okay.
You want mine? Here you go.
Thank you.
You betcha.
All right. So, should I read them all out?
Yeah, read 'em
or
all
just
out.
Pick
Let's
one?
see what we got
okay, so
first.
we have. I just felt like running. We have
Running.
cut to the chase, and Hey,
Oh,
I'm
my
going to
God.
be a rock star.
You know, if you don't like Nickelback, don't
Yeah,
That's Cypress Hill. That's Cypress Hill.
It is.
He asked
It
me
is.
never to
We'll-
do those
we'll-
words again, so I had to. I'm going to go with that one. Hey, I want to be a rock
All
star.
right.
Tear off
Cool.
the Band-Aid. Okay.
Cool. So, back when I was in the Marines still, I was stationed in Whidbey Island, Washington. And I was a part of a Navy Marine Joint Aircraft Squadron. So I met some friends, and they were in a band, and, you know, I kind of got involved with them a little bit. And I would just go down and see them. It was a live band. I thought, man, this is so cool.
Right.
North of Seattle, this was in '95, so the grunge scene was still kind of around a little bit. I
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily into that. It was more the, hair
Great time
hair
to
band
be
stuff.
there.
But got hanging out with them, and I thought, man, that would just be cool to be on stage. So I kind of was the guy on the sides that did the lights with them a little bit. I was that guy, sort of like the roadie.
I was gonna say it's called a roadie. Bill.
Yeah, sorta,
It's not
but-
sugarcoating. It's the roadie.
Yeah, all right. And actually, a lot of my friends would make fun of me. They would say, What
Right.
are you doing, man? I'm like, well, guess what, dummy? You paid to get in here, and I'm drinking for free, and I'm watching the same show
That's
you are,
right.
you know.
That's
so
right.
it didn't bother me. But I thought, no, how cool would it be to be on stage? So they invited me to sing a couple times, and it was awesome. And that band kind of went away because of different people in the military and
What
getting
was-
stationed here and there. That band was called the Stranded Dogs.
Okay.
So then there was another band, a local band. It was called Peace Pipe, and they were phenomenal. But the lead singer, he was the guy that had long, like reddish blonde hair, and he had a fan in front of him. So when he was playing, it was just like a
It looked like
winger
a
commercial
model
or something.
shoot.
Yeah, it was.
L'Oreal.
Oh God, it was so good.
Maybe he was born with it.
But he was fantastic guitarist. He was amazing. So I got talking to him a little bit, and he wanted to form another band. So he invited me to play. So I played keyboards with him, and there were some other guys. And actually, we tried out a lot of drummers. Our first drummer was one of the drummers for Edie Brickell and New Bohemians.
That's an old school reference right there.
Yeah, right. And he was so cool, and he had the biggest Neil Peart drum set you can imagine. But he was kind of a stoner, and he would never play the same song, or he would never play the same song the same way, ever.
So in other words,
We would play our
what
song,
you
and he'd
had.
say, "Okay, let's do it again," and he would play it completely different, just because he'd be stoned out of his mind. So he didn't really
awesome.
work out, and
That's great.
on and on. But we got playing, and we decided we wanted to record a CD. So we spent 7 months in the studio recording a CD, and met some people along the way. Of course, up in Seattle, everybody's a musician, right?
Sure.
And there's a million bands, but people know people, right? So then our sound guy was a guy named Hans Gregg, who was the sound guy for Alice in Chains. Coolest guy in the world. I mean,
Nice.
he was just the coolest. So we put the CD out where I lived on Whidbey Island. You said you've been there.
Yeah.
They have what they call City Beach. That's where everybody goes to see the 4th of July show. So
Cool.
they let us play City Beach. And there was about
Nice.
20,000 people there. So here's me.
Now, did
you know,
I miss the name of your band?
So the name of this band, that's kind of a funny story too, not to go on forever, but we just named that the Don Richards Band.
And that you have an album under that
We
name
do.
out in the world
Yeah,
somewhere.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So the funny thing is we had this big whiteboard in our practice room, and we couldn't decide on a name for about 6 months. We would
So you
just come
decided
in and
on
write a name, but
A name, Don Richards.
well, after 6 months, he was just kind of mad. He's like, okay, this is what we're calling it. Because you could literally put down any name. You can make up any name in the world and Google it, and there's 2 bands somewhere named that, you know.
Well, it depends on, now, not to interrupt your story, but Randy, I work with a guy, he's been playing in bands forever. He told me this band he used to live in Houston called the Flying Burrito Brothers. Now, I challenge anybody to be
Yeah.
2 of those. That's a great name, by the way.
It is.
I would have rocked that T-shirt all
Yeah.
day.
I would too.
The Flying Burrito Brothers?
That's
Get
pretty
out of
good.
here.
That's pretty
great.
good.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we played that show, 20,000 people. It was fantastic. And then we thought, wow, we're really gonna. I almost thought for half a second, you know what? We may have a shot of really playing some good gigs here.
Right.
One of the guitarists, he was really good friends, and I don't remember his name. He was the guitarist, I do, but he was really good friends with U2's personal pilot. U2 had a private jet and fly all over the world, and he was great friends with them. So he loved us. He would come see us play whenever he was in town. So we gave him a CD, and here he gives it to Bono and them, and U2 is listening to our CD.
That's amazing.
And one of my good friends, I'm still friends with today, he is good friends with Three Doors Down. And so I gave him a CD, so Three Doors Down has our CD. So now I'm thinking, holy cow, this is, wow.
Wow.
We might actually have something here. It was
Right.
all original stuff. And then I think it was through the pilot for U2, we got a call from The Tonight Show, and they wanted us to come down and play.
Wow.
And the lead singer, Don Richards, he said no. He says, I got to work. We can't
What?
do it. So this guy, he's probably the most fantastic guitarist I've ever met in my life, but for some reason I think he was afraid of success.
Or maybe just a more dedicated worker.
Well, maybe, but honestly, it sounds bizarre, but I think he was really kind of scared of either not making it. He spent his whole life being a musician, and I don't know what happened. So
He knew he was good, and the chance of rejection probably would kill him.
maybe,
'Cause
and
he-
he was fantastic, but he had a big ego.
If you're amazing, well, that's it. If
He
you're
did.
amazing at it, you don't want to be. That would suck to bomb, right?
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
it would also suck having the big what if the rest of your life.
Well, that's where I've been, kind of.
Yeah.
In a way. But, he was the guy where we would play shows and he would tell the light guy, hey, only have the lights on me. Only have the lights on me, and never introduced everybody else in the band when we all put in the exact same amount of time.
Right.
He wrote the songs and it was his music and it was fantastic. But I soon realized after he rejected The Tonight Show, and we really didn't hear anything from anybody else, and just playing local bars for $100, for the weekend, it
Right.
sucks. So I realized, what? If it's not fun, let's go do something else.
Yeah.
I realized a long time ago I was going to be a millionaire making music. So I left that band, but I joined another one later, and you'll appreciate this name. It's called 5 O'Clock Charlie. So we were trying to come
Okay.
up with a name, and so 5 O'Clock Charlie came after a MASH episode. There was this little open cockpit plane, this little Korean guy would
Right.
fly around
Right.
at 5 o'clock and try to drop bombs, and they called him 5 O'Clock Charlie. So that was the name of our band. Okay.
That's
So-
fun.
So that's my rock and roll story.
So, the Tonight Show, is that Johnny Carson?
No,
or is
Jay
that
Leno.
Jay Leno at
I'm
that
not
time.
that old, man.
Okay, well, I didn't. Well, I couldn't remember when Johnny Carson. When did Carson give it up?
A long time ago.
No,
What? That was probably
I was probably in junior high.
no,
no,
You don't
mid '90s, earlier mid '90s.
Yeah,
I
he
think.
was. That's why I was wondering.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me really young.
Yeah,
I'll
earlier
stick
mid
with
'90s.
that.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was Jay Leno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
at that time, that's still a huge thing because
Oh my God.
it's still a make or break situation for you. It's not like
Yeah.
today where the Tonight Show's tossed. It's nothing.
Well, sure. To go play down in L.A.
Right. Right.
That'd be crazy.
It's just the internet and podcasts and
Yeah.
whatever not. So
Yeah. So honestly, a lot of people I tell that story to, there's no way U2 knows your name or ever heard anything
Right.
that you plunked down on the keyboards or
Right.
But
well, what do you think, Jen? So far,
Well, and I know that for one thing, I want to find the album
okay.
and listen to it. That's pretty. It sounds plausible to me.
right.
It really does.
The thing that's tough about this podcast is sometimes the most unbelievable one is true, and they tell that one because it is unbelievable, and it's I think it's a trap sometimes, and I fall for it every time.
But I think that we all have unbelievable stories. We just don't realize
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
the time comes.
It's crazy. That's what's fun about this podcast. There's
Yeah.
so many people that are just a cop in your town or a doctor or whoever, your local milk truck driver has met
Oh yeah.
crazy famous people.
Well, look at I don't know his name. Look at the lead singer for Five Finger Death Punches from Fort Morgan.
Yeah,
How crazy is that?
that is crazy.
That is.
They played all over the world, and
Yeah, and they're well known everywhere.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. It's hard to ask after the first story.
Uh-huh.
You have to judge it by the second story. and make
Right.
a contrast there. So
Uh-huh.
far so good though, Bill.
All right.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
We're back on the run. So you picked that one. The next two are I Just Felt Like Running and Cut to the Chase. I'm going to go with the I Just Felt Like Running.
So that's funny you say it like that because that's kind of that reference
You
after
told
Forrest Gump. So, okay. So we mentioned that I was in the Marines. So I was stationed in Okinawa in 1994, and that's when Forrest Gump came out. And we were fortunate enough to see it over there, and it was awesome. And I thought, wow, it's still a fantastic movie. I love
Fantastic
it. Tom
movie.
Hanks is my hero. I love him.
Me too.
He's so awesome. By the way, my last name being Robards, I'm related to Jason Robards, famous actor who's been in movies with Tom Hanks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
What
yeah.
would he play?
Philadelphia. So
I've never seen it.
You've never seen
I need to
Philadelphia
see
with
that.
Denzel Washington? So
I'd love
Jason
to.
Robards, he was one of them that owned the law firm that Tom
Okay.
Hanks worked for, and then it ended up suing.
Okay.
So, being dumb drunk Marines, we are always trying to do something,
Right.
drink beer or whatever, figure something out. But I was in the best shape of my life at this point, by far. So, I was stationed we were in Okinawa, but my home base was 29 Palms, California, which is in the high desert. And we got back, and we decided there is what they call Navy Marine Corps Relief Fund. So if you have problems with your bills or paycheck or something in your house catches on fire, whatever,
Right.
Navy Marine Corps Relief steps right in, no questions asked. They're sort of like the Red Cross for Navy and Marines.
That's
and they're a
awesome.
great organization, but they welcome donations. So we decided we were going to raise some money. Now, being a Marine, this may surprise you, but I hate running with a passion. I still do. I'm not a runner. But we decided that 4 of us were going to raise $5,000, and there's also a thing called MWR, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. It's through the Marine Corps where you can go. They have gyms, and you can go rent a bike for $2 or whatever,
Cool.
10 speed or whatever. So that's what we decided we were going to do. So we had this plan. We went around and we raised some money. So we were going to go from 29 Palms, California to San Francisco, which is around 500 miles. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's a long ways.
it's a long ways, but we were in good shape, and we figured, it might take a week or so. If we could do 100 miles a day, that's what we were thinking, which is not unrealistic on a bike.
That's some Tour de France shit, man.
100 miles a day?
don't know.
Well, so, I'm, let's see, 1994, I'm 22 at the time. I'm like,
I couldn't
Easy, no
make it to
problem.
McDonald's on a bike.
yeah, no problem. So one of our friends had this old Winnebago, it was really cool, but it could sleep like 6 or 8 people. And so we had this plan where we were going to kind of just cut through the desert and not go through LA and like, how would you get to San Francisco on the highway? Well, no, we kind of had a good route. So from, cut through the desert, and I think our first stop was like Barstow, California, which was like 100 miles.
Right.
So we load this Winnebago up full of beer, of course. We were going to try to do 100 miles a day or close to, and then wherever we were, stop, sleep, get up in the morning, do it all over again,
Right.
and get to San Francisco. And then I think drive time from San Francisco is maybe 8 hours. So we would just turn around and come right back. So the most we'd be gone is like a week, which we all had leave. We were just in Okinawa, so we could definitely do it. So we set off, and surprisingly, in the desert in August, it's pretty hot. We were about 5 miles in. I'm like, this sucks. This is horrible.
When you said Barstow and that was 100 miles away,
Yeah.
that's an even longer drive in my head.
Oh, it's terrible. And it's all through the desert. But that's kind of the route you had to plan. We just couldn't be around traffic. And you have a Winnebago doing, 5 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour behind us. You can't.
And you're just knowing in the hot desert,
Yeah.
well, at least there's beer behind me.
And that's what we did. We'd go for, 5, 10 miles. And we need a beer, man. Let's
Yeah.
stop. Or
Yeah.
I got to go to the bathroom. Well, while you're pissing, I'm taking a beer. That kind of stuff.
Because
So
you should dehydrate yourself more as
Yeah.
you're going.
100%.
You're out of beer
Oh, my
30
God.
miles in.
No,
Right.
we didn't run out of beer. We
Yeah.
had that sucker stocked a lot.
Had they not bought the beer, they could have probably made the $5,000 investment, and not drove the damn bike anywhere,
Well, the donation plus expenses.
That's what it is. That's a little off the top for Poppy. I get
So, yeah, it pretty much sucked. We started out real early. I think it was like 5 a.m. and it was daylight out, and I think we made it outside of Barstow by 7 p.m., something like that, after several stops. And so we just decided there's absolute no way we're going to make
Right.
it. So we spent the night just outside of Barstow and drank more beer and turned around and went home. That was it. We did not make it.
So you only made it 100 miles.
Yeah, maybe 100 miles.
I thought your
Maybe.
story was going to be that you ditched the bikes, you all jumped on the Winnebago, went to
No.
San Francisco,
No.
and pretended that you did
No,
this.
we got them from MWR. We had to turn the bikes back in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So
You got
that's
drunk and somehow still ended up in San Francisco. Didn't
Yeah.
write shit. That's
100
Pretty
miles
much.
is still pretty impressive.
It was horrible. It was so hot. Even at 5, 7 o'clock in the morning, it can be 100 degrees in the
Oh,
desert.
yeah.
It's
no thanks.
yeah. So it was real stupid.
Okay.
That's that story.
All right. What do you think?
I think that one, you told it so fast. And let's see, you said you had completely made up your first one, right?
I did.
I don't know. It
no,
sounds
he
plausible
made
too.
up-
No,
he
not the
made up
first one.
one.
I made up one.
He made
of
up
them.
one. Yeah.
I'm sorry, made up one the first time around. You're a fake one. I don't know. That one sounds plausible to me too. The Marine Corps and fundraising, and because nobody's just going to jump on a bike. But that's my one thought that gives me doubt. Nobody wants to jump on a bike and ride 500 miles.
Right.
Well, I wasn't gonna run. That's
Right.
for sure.
That's not- yeah.
No way.
This is what's hard about this is that you don't know how people attack this. You know, like
Right.
Did he put too much information in the first one to kind of lure you off? And that's what's hard. These are so hard.
Yep, and the first one was just a whole lot more detailed.
So I'm glad Adam's not here because he kicks my ass at this thing every time, man. It's like the human lie detector. He should be a cop.
I'm gonna try too.
Yeah, this is your first time. You might be undefeated.
All right.
Ooh, undefeated on my first
You
time.
beat Matt.
I deserve a
and,
ribbon.
Mr. Finley, and then Michelle Staley is defeated. That's what she's worse than I am, Michelle. So thank God. So those are two pretty good stories, man.
All right, thanks.
I like the first one. I really like that one, but I'm not decided yet. So
All right.
do you have a clear cut one in your head yet?
No.
You got a
I
leader?
do not have a clear cut in my head. If I had to guess right now between the two,
Don't guess. Don't guess. Let's not do it yet.
I have a clear cut in my head. No, I do not, but I'm leaning. I'm leaning.
Okay.
All right.
Well, last story. Cut to the chase.
Cut to the chase. So, I'm trying to think of the year 2008, I believe. I was still in Washington, Whidbey Island. Oak Harbor was the town. My friends owned a bar, and it was called Togs, and it stood for what did it stand for? This old common gutter slut. It was spelled TOCGS, but that's what it stood for.
That's a bar.
It's a bar.
Nice.
The old common gutter slut. Fantastic. Was it a dive bar by any chance, or
No,
was
it
it
was-
a classy?
No,
It was a
no,
classy bar.
classy place.
Actually, I played in there. Before they bought it, my friends bought it. It was called the Blue Dolphin. And that's actually every weekend was live music. There were bands that came from Seattle. I played
that's
on that
cool.
stage. It was really cool. Going back to the music, not getting off this story, but going back to music, I met Roger Fisher and Steve Fossen, the founding members of Heart. They played on that stage. And Goldie McJohn from Steppenwolf played on that stage.
Oh, that's
and,
cool.
Leon Hendricks, Jimi Hendrix' brother, played on that stage. So it's a lot. So it was really cool. It's a cool bar.
That's gotta
So-
suck to be Jimi Hendrix's brother.
He's the coolest guy, and he's a fantastic musician.
Really?
And I have a CD of his he signed for me, and
Wow.
I got to hang out with him. He's so cool, and he's a great guitarist, but he's Jimi Hendrix's
He's
brother.
Jimi
man.
Hendrix's
I mean,
brother.
it sucks. And they look a lot alike, honestly.
Really?
They do.
It's a
Yeah.
couple of different pedestals
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's gotta be. It's like being Jordan's brother. Yeah, you're pretty
I
good at
know,
basketball, but your
right.
brother's Jordan. You
Right.
know?
No, I get it. Yeah. So one day my friends called me up, and she's like, "Hey, they're shooting a movie in my bar. You want to come down and check it out?" I thought, nah. I think my son had some choir concert in elementary school or something, and so I wasn't going to go, but I decided to go. So I get down to the bar. There's like nobody in there, and I'm just sitting at the bar, and pretty soon the door opens up, and here comes like all this crew and all these people all of a sudden just pour into the bar. This guy comes up to me, and I'm wearing like this Harley shirt, and I'm covered in tattoos. You can't see on camera, but I'm just sitting at the bar having a whiskey or whatever, and this guy comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, come here. Do you have a second? Can I talk to you for a second?" I'm thinking, great. Here, I'm a tall guy. He's going to ask me to freaking hang lights or something. Now I'm a
Right,
roadie
right.
for a movie. Awesome.
He can smell the rodeo. On you. It's like your first rodeo, pal.
All right. Good. So I follow him in the back of the bar, and here's this table, and he's walking towards this lady, and he's like, I got the guy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, hey, you want to be in the movie? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I got these two guys. They're supposed to come in here and rob the bar. It's just like this little scene. You're supposed to come in here and yell something at the bartender, whatever I tell you, and then rob the bar, and here's this undercover cop, and he's just going to beat your ass. And, what do you think? He's like, the guy I have going to do this, he's a little guy, and he's standing over there, and he don't look like you, And I'm covered in tattoos. I got a tight Harley shirt on. I look like, So I was like, yeah, cool, okay. So did that whole scene, and Channel 9 News in Seattle was there. They were watching They were watching part of it, and they filmed me getting makeup put on me, and I got beat up a little bit in part of that, and they all thought I did a great job. So they asked me to be in the very last scene of the movie. Also, it was a vampire movie. So I was in the very first scene and the very last scene. And I just played this robber, and then who gets killed by a vampire in the end of the movie, which was really cool. So then they all thought, wow, he did pretty good. So they asked if I wanted to be in another movie called Allure, filmed in Louisiana. So I agreed to do that. My son did also. He was the only kid in the movie. And I played myself. I played Bill Robards.
That's cool.
So my role in that movie, and I had a lot, probably had 10 or 12 scenes. It was a lot bigger role for me. And basically, I was down there as a movie star for a premiere of a movie that I was actually in.
Wow.
So I was hanging out with the governor who had this trophy wife, and I don't know if you know who Gina Lynn is. Gina Lynn was a very, very famous adult film star.
I was going to say, it sounds like a porn star.
She's fantastic. Her and her husband were in the movie, but she's like the governor's trophy wife. And the guy that played the governor was Stefano Capone, and he's actually the grandson to Al Capone.
Really?
Oh, I thought you meant where you lived. The governor was really there with some porn star wife.
No, this is in Louisiana. So this is my role in the movie. So I play myself. I play Bill Robards, the star of a vampire movie that I was actually in.
Oh, okay. What was the name of the vampire movie? May I ask?
Allure.
No, that was the movie in Louisiana. Loved Ones.
Loved Ones.
Loved Ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was filmed all over Seattle and Washington. That was. So it was awesome. Got to meet some great people. Brenna Lee Roth, David Lee Roth's daughter, was in the movie, she was so cool. And I felt really stupid asking. I was like, wow, you're David Lee Roth's daughter. That must have been so cool growing up. And she's like, no way, I don't know him. He was always gone, you know. And I never thought of it like that, but I just thought, wow.
Yeah, but you got to be home with your mom, Valerie Bertinelli. I'd be okay with that. That's
No, Valerie was married to Eddie Van Halen.
Eddie
Yeah.
Van Halen. Who would you say?
David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth.
So
I
Brenna,
wonder who his wife was.
I don't know.
Probably wives.
Wives.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Multiple wives,
So-
thousands of children.
So that was my little movie career. It was really cool and fun. And so when I'm at the police academy, somebody finds out that I'm in a movie. So the commander for Adams County Sheriff's Department that's running the academy, a great guy, he said, he comes storming into class, Robards, you were in a movie? And yeah, it's no big deal. So he's trying to look it up. They're trying to find trailers for it. Now, these are independent films. These were nothing that made me famous at all.
Right.
Well, Gina Lynn is on the cover. And if you see the cover of the film, it's kind of provocative. And
It looks like a porno.
It kind of does. And so he goes back in his office. So now the joke is that I'm in this porn. Robards is in a porno, you know, and I'm the old guy. So it's, of course, some 70s porno. You know? So he was gone. The commander was gone for a while, and he came back in. It just pissed off. He's like, God damn it, Robards. He said, you have no idea how many rabbit holes I went down with my phone trying to find you, but my wife's going to fucking kill me.
Oh my goodness! I remember when there was VHS porn out, and the sleeves at the movie theater or the movie store had to be covered with white.
Yeah.
And you'd
That's
take them
funny.
home and check them out and peel the white off to see
What?
Yeah.
the front cover. Don't you remember they used to cover that? If they didn't have a separate room, the dirty movies had just a white sleeve over them.
Brush Video was classy. They had its own room.
It's over.
yeah.
We had our own porn room. But when you're in that room, you know every perv in town. This town's too small. You wouldn't catch me in a porn room in a small town like this.
We would go rent Nintendo games from Brush Video, me and like CJ Jones and Mac Deal. And we'd look at that room like, oh, I bet it's awesome in there.
It's lit up with rays of sun.
I bet we could see a naked woman.
It's like going.
Did you ever sneak behind the curtain?
We tried, man.
It's
Carol
like
was-
going in a cave and don't go past the red rock.
That's what it is. Carol's like, we're kind of like looking at it. She's like, just shaking her head like, don't. You get Ninja Gaiden and go home. We all know what you're doing. Mario Brothers that's your bitch tonight. You get out of here. You know.
Mario Brothers is age appropriate for you.
There's a different porno called Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Donkey Dong.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, there was a second video store in Brush where that tortilla place is now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess they did. Well, they didn't even cover it up. Now that I think about it, it was just on the side. So you're sitting there, you're 13 or whatever, just sitting there staring at it. I don't.
You have to go by name alone and hope for the best.
These kids nowadays, porn comes so easy to them, man. The struggle's real. If you're our age, the struggle was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have no idea.
I remember the days of the Scrambled on TV. Oh, did I just catch something dirty? Oh, did you just see that?
Nipple. That was a nipple. That was a nipple.
You know how many times I rewound Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
I'm going to tell you a story about my buddy Doogie. So he had the VCR hooked up in the living room, and the TV was in his bedroom. Right?
You had a friend named Doogie.
Well, his name was Sean, but we all called him Doogie.
Okay.
I'll tell you one. He now works in the Pentagon, so I don't.
Oh wow.
Sorry, Doogie.
Oh, so don't make fun of Doogie.
Oh, I'm not giving Doogie's real name. So we worked at Wendy's together. The manager couldn't remember his name. Him and I grew up together. Like, what's his name? And I would tell them, like, he looks like Doogie Howser. So Pam started calling him Doogie, and it stuck. I don't think he likes it anymore. I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while, but he's always going to be Doogie to me. He's,
Sure.
Oh, that's funny.
He could probably have me killed by this time, but I don't. But anyway,
so that's my little acting career.
Yeah, I was going to ask, were you even done with your story before I
was.
interrupted?
That's it.
We took off there.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're attention whores, I guess.
That's it.
But anyway, Doogie, we were watching Revenge of the Nerds. And it was a sleepover for his birthday, so we're like, pause, trying to get on that, you know what I mean? It was so silly.
One of my favorite lines on that is like the Chinese guy says, "Why do they call you Booger?"
Oh, that's
and
funny.
he's got his finger up his nose, and he's like, "I don't know."
That's funny.
That's one of those movies that nowadays would never fly.
No way.
Oh, my God.
No.
I know, and I wonder if there's tri-lambs out there.
I don't know.
Lambda.
I don't know. I think it's an all-black fraternity for real, though, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, in the movie, it's
know.
an all-black movie.
Don went to college. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there's
She's
tri-lambs.
She's educated. Well, if that's out there, you can leave it in the comments below. So that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know.
Wow, those are 3 great stories.
I tried to select ones that were all kind of completely different from each other.
Right.
So maybe that threw you off.
Right.
I don't know.
When you were telling your movie, I kind of had the inkling it was going to be a porn story, and I thought to myself, there's a porn out there with Bill Robards as the pizza guy. He's just in the movie. He's not actually.
So, in case my mom watches this podcast, I was not in a porno.
And I was going to say, and
repeat.
if that's the true one, the ball's on you for admitting it.
It was not a porno.
Or Bill backed out the last minute, so he just had to be like the weird,
I was the roadie holding the lights.
or he's in the movie as the weird brother. It's like, come on, guys, I gotta use the bathroom.
I was in a porno. I was the
Hurry
husband
up.
leaving.
That's exactly.
God.
There I am. Oh,
The
really
husband
short
leaving as the orgy comes in the back door.
Oh yeah, right.
those were actually my shoes he's wearing. Those were my shoes. Oh, famous. So famous.
He was petting my dog.
Oh, my God. You would think, that's weird. I don't think I've ever known anybody in an actual porno, though, joking aside.
Oh, I do. I have a
you
friend
really?
from high school here in Fort Morgan who left high school and went straight into the porn industry.
I'll be
Is
damned.
that right?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm still friends with him on Facebook today. He was pretty.
It's a him.
He was pretty. Yeah, he was pretty proud of it.
Huh.
Well, for a him
I don't
to
know.
make it.
I don't know if I'd say his name on this without asking him, but yeah, and he made a lot of movies.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Closest we knew to anybody. We went to high school with somebody that turned out to be a stripper.
we've all known strippers. That's,
But
we, but I don't think I've ever actually known a porn star, which is weird because something of everything else. But
Have you ever heard Dear Chasey Lane by the Bloodhound Gang? You should Spotify that.
Dear, what is it?
Dear Chasey Lane.
Okay, what is
She's a porn star, and it's him writing her letters. And it's
Really?
a dirty, dirty song.
it? Actually, this is a rumor, so if it's true, I don't know. It's urban myth, actually. The movie Dumb and Dumber was actually filmed here. You know
it
that?
was where the Riata is.
Yes.
That cafe
Yes.
scene. Yeah, that's right.
Apparently, there's the scene where they're up in the mountain skiing, and the little girl gets her tongue stuck.
Oh yeah.
Or he gets his tongue stuck, and the little girl that's sitting next to him is from Fort Morgan, and she went on to do some kind of adult.
Is that right?
That's what yeah.
Huh.
Really?
I've heard that story, yeah.
No kidding.
She's probably going to listen to like, this son of a bitch, that's not even close to true.
Or
I'm a
she's going to be
doctor.
like, what? They didn't give me any kudos? Nothing for my porn,
I'm not getting
porn
any
career?
royalties.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to check into that.
Yeah, I'd heard that at one point in time. So, but who knows? That's
Yeah.
my mom had came home one day, and she told me that she had saw a dog or a van that looked like a dog. It had like fur, and it was
The Shaggin' Wagon.
she had saw it. Now, obviously, the movie hadn't came out yet, and I'm like, okay, Mom.
We saw the Shaggin' Wagon in Branson, Missouri, about a month ago at a celebrity car museum.
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah, they have
Wow, that's
Tattoo's
cool.
car from Fantasy Island, his little tiny
Oh,
red
yeah,
car,
yeah. That's
sitting
cool.
in there. It was a cool place to tour.
That's cool.
Yeah, we had a blast there. There were probably 40 cars,
No kidding. That's cool.
most of them Fast and Furious cars.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
in Branson?
Branson, Missouri.
What's the big deal about Branson?
Branson is a tourist attraction trap.
Wow.
There's alpine slides and amusement parks and the Titanic Museum.
Is it like Estes kind of, or is it?
It's got a lot more to do in it than Estes, but yes, very much like Estes. Ice cream and candy shops,
Wow.
but they have the world famous Daisy's something there, Daisy's Gifts, and it's the one where they had the big BLM protest and riot.
Okay.
And yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so we stopped in there just to see the chaos going on in there.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you go to that though? Why would you?
Well, because we read about the
Oh.
riots and protests were over, and we
Okay.
read about them. They just want them to move off the main tourist strip.
Right.
Just move the business. It's the first thing you see when you pull into town, and it's filled with Confederate flags, and it's very decked out.
makes
So it
sense.
offends people.
Uh-huh.
So I stopped in
My
because
buddy
I
used
offend
to-
people.
Yes, you do, Jen. That's why I love you. My buddy used to live in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and I went to go see him and his wife, and we went to Mardi Gras. Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
I haven't.
Fantastic. Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
Nope.
Better than Vegas, man.
Hmm.
Crazy. But we woke up the next day, and she wanted to go see where Katrina had hit. She was just curious about it, and people were like, that's really not a good idea to drive down there in your brand new car with the two white people. Larry's the darkest thing you have with you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you don't want to go there.
It's still destroyed, right? And a terrible now just
I
a
have
terrible
no idea.
ghetto.
But at the time, it was about a year and a half out. It was, the next Mardi Gras after that. It actually didn't hit New Orleans at all, really.
People are
'cause
still living on
a
their
big-
roofs.
Well, there's a big river that goes through the city that stopped the floods. So, I mean, because when I pulled into New Orleans, I'm like, I bet it's destroyed nuts. It's actually a little nice looking city, very cool. So go to New Orleans if you ever have a chance.
Yeah,
It's-
I'd love to.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's cool with all the
Yeah.
houses on stilts and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
oh, yeah, for sure.
It's neat, man. So, all right. Well, before we get to guessing, I do want to say, because I forgot to begin with, we're just getting back into the swing of this. So, you're the
I'm the guinea pig for the new year.
new season. Yeah. So
Season 2
Nice.
opener.
Nice.
you can find all of Bill's stuff on the bullhucker.com is where you can find this episode and all the good stuff that comes along with it. And if you're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, throw a like, throw a comment for us. Let us know what you're doing. This is actually changing now. We used to make you wait a week before we did the reveal. We're actually going to give you the reveal here in a few minutes. So we're going to see. So Bill Robards, people don't have to. So your mom doesn't have to realize you weren't a porno. That's what that's for.
That's
Bill.
absolutely correct.
She doesn't have to go this whole week thinking if her son was a degenerate. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
right. Yeah.
Mrs. Robards going through porn, being like, "I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him."
What do you actually use that cop outfit for? I mean, really. Nobody drives a Crown Vic anymore.
That's right. That's what you had.
That's all fake. That's all fake.
I love it.
So you're doing the reveal today.
Yeah, we're gonna do it today. You and I are gonna guess here
Fantastic.
pretty quick. We're gonna do paper, rock, scissors.
Okay.
To see who has to go first. But also, if you're on YouTube, please leave a comment and like us and subscribe to this channel, please. That's right.
Oh, I'm
You can make that face too if you're watching this on video.
cheering you.
And you can also find us on all any platform, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. So, are you ready to do a little paper, rock, scissors?
I am ready.
Are you a 3-pumper or 4-pumper?
Oh.
This is a big thing. Bill,
Are
how do
you?
you do it?
Let me
Mom,
ask
I was
you.
not on a porn.
Let me ask you if you're a 3-pumper
I'm a 3-pumper.
or 4-pumper.
I'm a 3-pumper. How I used to
I'm
do
a
it is
3-hitter
boom,
quitter
boom,
too.
boom, right? How do you do it, Bill?
Yeah, the same way.
You don't do it boom, 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 then
No.
shoot?
3.
See, Bill's a 3-pumper. Adam's a 4-pumper. We put this on Facebook, and more people are 4-pumpers out there.
What?
More people are 4-pumpers. I'm a 3-hitter quitter. We're
Ready?
good.
Okay, wait. Let's start again. Because you did one.
Oh, wait. I didn't win. Hold
Ready,
on.
ready, go. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, we messed it up backwards.
You
Okay,
ready?
3. Oh, so I have to guess first.
I have to guess.
Oh,
won.
you have to guess.
You had
Okay.
paper. I had rock. Paper
Got it.
covers rock.
Paper
'Cause
covers rock.
How does that make sense, by the way?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I like rocks to hold mine down
I
because
can
it's
throw
so
a rock
windy.
right through paper.
Bill, you've had 3 great stories. These are
Thank
these
you,
are
man.
these are super tough, man. Because I don't trying to read you. Matt Gordon used to like watch you, whoever it is, to see if you touched your ear a lot or I don't know. He thinks he's a detective.
Check for your pantomimes.
Yeah. But he's never missed one too, so I guess I can't talk too much.
I'm
shit
glad
about
he's
him.
not here.
Yeah, I gotta tell you. So the one I believe is the cut to the chase. I think that might be a little true. I don't know. I think that might be true, and I'm apt to believe the Rockstar one. That one had a lot of detail. It had a lot of. You seem a little passionate about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if not, kudos for the really weird Edie and Brickell and the Bohemians and some of the weird references. I kudos to that one. That kind of sells it for me, as dumb as that may sound. So I really think Cut to the Chase is the one I'm going to pick as my Bullhucker. That's what I think. I think that one's your fibbing on. Jennifer?
Okay, and I have a differing opinion.
Oh.
So, I'm a horror movie freak, and I've not heard of either one of those movies that you say you've been in.
But he said they're low, but they're
independent.
I watch a lot of independent films. So, but you also had a lot of detail to that one. Your least detail was Cut to the Chase, and I fully believe that Marines would pull off we made it 100 miles. That's good enough. Let's go home. Not that I don't appreciate the Marines and their service. But I could see it.
Beer's a hell of a drug.
It's almost like yes, and peer pressure's a mofo, and it's hot. I got it.
Damn you, son.
Yeah.
I think that your fib is actually the hey, I want to be a rock star.
Why is that?
Because I think Dan Richards' band is a terrible name.
Don Richards. Yeah.
Don Richards.
Oh, Don Richards.
Don Richards.
I'm going solely on that.
Oh, okay.
I think you came up with it off the top of your hat, and I don't believe in the Don Richards band.
Okay.
So here's the thing: only one person has beat us both. Old John Beltran got us both with his.
Okay.
One person lost both. Last episode, Terry Barton Gregg is the first person that we both guessed the same one with her. And I can't remember why.
And you were
but
right?
We were right. We both beat her. So she was all sad. So Bill, pull out the board. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
We're just hoping one of us is right.
That's what.
No drum roll.
Ready?
Ready?
I just felt like running.
Oh.
Wait, which one did you pick? And I picked Cut to the Chase.
Yeah.
So you've never been in the movies.
Oh.
What's that?
You've never been in the movies.
I have.
You have?
I have.
That's the one that's the fake
Oh,
one.
that was
This
Cut to
is
the
the
Chase.
fake one.
Yeah.
This is the fake one.
Ah,
So,
damn
and
it.
I will tell you why this is fake. And I had a hard time, but coming up with something that is highly believable. And I was in the Marines.
We got beat again.
Huh?
That's it. You're fired. No more.
So I'll tell you a little something. Back then, especially being in Okinawa, it probably took them 5 or 6 years to show Forrest Gump. I mean, they were that far behind the times. There was no way.
Why did you think about
They
that?
had, which Forrest Gump did come out in 1994. I really kind of researched that, and the time frame worked out perfect. I just got
Was he
back
running
and-
through?
No, but he. So yeah, the TV.
Good
and
for you,
all
man.
Of that. But it's true. I lived a very fascinating life, and I've met so many rock stars. Actually, it's crazy. And
That's very cool.
I'm actually friends with Roger Fisher and Steve Foster from Heart and Goldie McJohn and
That's really cool, man.
Don Richards.
Don Richards was the band, and so his actual name is Richard Donald Hansen. So everybody in music land, the music world, knows him as Rick. He was a professional cabinet maker, and everybody in the cabinet world knew him as Don. So one day he just had enough of this whiteboard with all these stupid names, and he said, "That's it. We're going to call it the Don Richards Band." Sort of like Dave Matthews Band, Don Richards Band, and that's it. I'll give you a CD. We do have. I still have plenty.
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it.
But it's true. So Dennis, I think his last name was Mazeros. Dennis was the drummer for Edie Brickell, and he's the coolest guy. He didn't fit in with us, which was a shame. Hans Gregg was our sound guy, and that was crazy to me. Here's Allison Chain's sound guy, and here he's, making us sound good. That was a big deal.
Right.
And I really felt like we were going to have a shot, and we really did get invited to play on The Tonight Show, and all of that is 100%
Until old
true.
Dick cut it off, huh?
Don, yeah.
Put the Richard.
Rick did. Yeah.
Richard Dick put the kibosh on the whole thing.
Yeah. And so the movie thing is all true too. That was fascinating. Once the band thing I knew was going to go away, even after 5 o'clock Charlie, that was just a
Right.
local band, and we were just a gig here and there.
Very cool.
I
You have
decided
good
that
stories.
I decided I wasn't going to be a rock star, so I did get
Wait.
asked to be in that movie.
Which one did I pick? I picked Cut to the Chase, right?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
we
was
both
all
lost.
true. That was all true. Yeah. So the movie thing was cool. I
Great
wish I could have done
stories.
that for a living.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts, man. Well, we're gonna have a Hall of Fame page, and you just made it on
Nice.
the son of a gun.
Yay.
That's tough because the odds are against you.
Yeah.
You know. And the other one that did it was Beltran, but Beltran had a very unique way of coming at us. Did you watch that episode?
I didn't. I got to go see it then.
So Beltran, what he did was he had 3 stories, all from the same 5-year period in the 80s
Oh.
when he lived in
This is
Louisiana.
Josh.
John Beltran?
John.
From the radio station?
Gotcha.
The guy with he's got the radio voice like no one other. John's got an amazing voice for radio. Amazing voice, period. But yeah, it was hard because he had 3 stories from the same 5-year period with the same characters and same everything, just 3 different stories of him and his friends. And so it made it super tough it made it impossible to kind of even keep track of what, so.
It's hard to flub. I found it was hard to flub a real story and try to make it fake.
Well, I thought too,
That was
though,
tough.
if I put so much detail in there and threw out oddball, that maybe you would
That's
think,
what
oh,
it
there's
is.
no way that's true.
Yeah.
So,
That's what got me.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
and
cool.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Thanks.
You had great stories.
This
Thank
is
you.
a good time. It's always a good time when we do this. So seriously, if you enjoy this, and if you anybody wants to try this, man, we got a lot of people lined up to do this. It's gonna be fun. It's kind of a local Morgan County thing. I have some comedians coming down to Denver
Nice.
eventually to come down. That ought to be interesting because those are the ones.
I'm
with the
sure they have
stories.
stories. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I got some more. Put me on the bottom of your list.
Yeah, we'll get you back on, Jen. Did we get yours right? Adam did not.
Adam got mine right, if
And
I
I got
remember
it wrong.
correctly. Yeah.
See, I'm almost fortunate Adam wasn't here because I think we had talked about, he knew I was in some movies and he
Right.
knew about me playing music, so I think he would have picked me apart right away.
He might have.
Yeah.
Well, he might have anyway. He's just good at this.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Well, I think he stalks Facebook because he's like,
Yeah.
everything that you do, you put up on Facebook, and here's the one you didn't. And that's
Oh,
kind of
that's
how he
true.
guessed me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I got yours right.
Stalker.
But everybody knew I was in the Marines, so that was,
Right.
you know,
It's tough, man.
it is.
That's what makes this fun,
Yeah,
though. That's
that's
what makes
cool.
it. I
That's
think
cool.
Dawn will come and tell us some stories one of these days. One of these days.
All right.
all
Well, there we go.
She was
As
sure
long as they don't tell them about me.
she's sitting back where we can't see her. We had to make sure she's she's sitting in the seat where you can't see. Because we're here at the Sands Theater, by the way. Getting back into the swing of this, I usually tell you all this. So the Sands Theater here in Brush, Colorado, they're not open right now. They will be opening soon in May, hopefully.
Yeah.
Start showing theater and movies again. So nice of them, the Chamber of Commerce in Brush, to let us do this in here. I just like the vibe of this room.
It's so cool. This whole building is awesome.
It is. It's old school, man.
Yeah.
These brick walls weren't here as a kid. They had some kind of like a wood paneling or something up there, and they pulled it off, and that brick is back there.
That's
like,
crazy. Yeah. That's
yeah,
cool.
why wouldn't you do that? And they're going to do the balconies, and it's going to be a fun theater. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
we might be doing comedy shows here.
Oh, that's so
eventually.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good deal.
So it'd be perfect, you know.
Yay.
Maybe Jen will come do some jokes for us.
That'd be
you know.
awesome. Yeah, cool.
Always.
Bill, man, thank you so much for coming on and doing this, man.
Man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to it since last year. Seriously.
Since October,
Yeah.
Bill. The day we were
Yeah.
going to do Bill's is the day I went and got my COVID test because I called and
Yeah,
said I got
that's
this
right.
cough, man. It's probably
Yeah.
not wise for me to be around you and
Yeah.
and, and Kelly Pelton, who will be on here the 26th.
Oh, I know Kelly.
believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
she'll be
Yeah,
fun.
she's cool.
'cause
Cool.
I can guarantee her stories will be out there too.
Yeah.
She's Kelly. So
Cool.
thanks so much again, Jen. Thanks for stepping in for Adam.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah. Now you're also with Michelle Staley as Defeated.
nice.
Dun, dun, dun.
Michelle's my buddy, though, so we'll be defeat buddies. Loser buddies.
Loser buddies.
That's awesome.
And you're 0%. At least I'm rocking 200. So
Nice.
Nice.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Jen Neb.
I'm Bill Robards.
Thank you, Bill. See you later. Peace.
See you.